Hello everybody. Well, before we begin our topic today, I would want you to ask yourself a series of questions. Do you feel it awkward to start a conversation with someone? Do you find it difficult to pass a smile at a complete stranger? Or else, do you find it hesitant to really start a conversation with someone whom you don't know but you would like to get to know them better? Well, if you have answered yes to all of these questions, this is a video tutorial I would really urge you to watch out for. So friends, welcome to the world of rapport building and small talks. Let's see what it has in store for us today. Well, the agenda today will revolve around rapport building and small talks, and some of the topics we will talk about today are: what is rapport building, how to break ice, importance of rapport building, use of empathy and concern with regards to rapport building and small talks, where we do it, how we do it and when we do it, tips to build rapport, and certain body language or non-verbal communication in terms of rapport building. Well, we have to answer this question first. What exactly is rapport? Well, if I have to give you a dictionary definition of rapport, here it is. Rapport is a state of harmonious as well as understanding with another individual or a group, which enables greater and easier communication. In other words, rapport building is really getting to know another person well, trying to find some kind of a common ground which will help us have a communication which is easier and definitely more effective. Why do we need to build rapport? Well friends, we are surrounded by an age of technology. We would rather chat with someone on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, rather than have a face-to-face conversation with that person, wouldn't we? In this age of technology, it is difficult to find common ground, it is difficult to strike a conversation, and hence it becomes all the more important for us to understand why we need to build rapport. Certain areas of building rapport is: it helps us to have a very good success in our personal and professional life. If we are able to talk to many people and without any hesitation, it helps us really achieve a lot of success in our personal and professional life. It helps us to build close connection and understanding. Of course, we are living in a situation nowadays wherein we need to understand how to build close connect. People only trust those with whom they have a close connect and understanding. It helps us to release unwanted tension and anxiety. Well, wherever we are stuck with any kind of a situation in which we find there is a lot of anxiety, building rapport or breaking the ice will help us to start a conversation with someone. And last but not the least, building rapport makes us more and more confident individuals, and wouldn't all of us want to be confident? Well friends, I'm going to share with you certain tips and tricks of how building rapport is important and what you can actually do to build rapport. Let's get started with that. It helps us if we have an open body language. Well, people like to interact with those people with whom they can trust, and I'm sure all of us have heard this particular statement: action speaks louder than words. Well, if we have a closed body language, we don't appear to be confident, and people wouldn't want to start a conversation with someone whom they feel is not very confident about themselves. Next, show that you are listening. People like to be listened to, and hence it is important to have this particular factor whenever you are building rapport with someone. It is very important to smile. Smile can break 1,000 words, and hence it's important whenever you are starting a conversation with someone, have a beautiful smile on your face. Use people's name. Well friends, people's name is the most important factor in today's life. Anybody and everybody in this world today loves their name, so use the name of people as much as possible during a conversation. Ask open-ended question. It's important to start a conversation by asking an open-ended question. For example, what is your view on this particular topic, or how are you doing today? This is an open-ended question which will help people talk in detail about themselves. Empathize. I cannot really make you understand how important is the word empathize. It's important to feel for people. It's important to really go out and really do something for somebody. So empathizing, believing, feeling is very important for people. Please be non-judgmental. Whenever you want to build rapport, don't be judgmental about somebody. Don't evaluate them basis your own perception about them. Please be non-judgmental. Be honest and genuine. People like to interact with those people whom they feel have honesty about themselves and do not fake anything. So please be honest and genuine if you really want to build rapport with people. Last but not the least, everyone loves compliment. Answer, questions, etc. Everything revolves around really going out and complimenting people. So compliment someone if you feel they're wearing a nice pair of shirt or a dress, or if they have a nice hairstyle, go ahead and compliment them. These are all certain tips and tricks to help build rapport with people. Well, if you want to start building rapport, it's important to first and foremost break the ice. Now, what do we understand by the word break the ice? It really means be the first one to start a conversation, or rather be the first one to end an anxiety situation or a silence. Breaking the ice means to be the first. Well, it's important to stick to safe topics. When I say safe topics, I really mean to say that stick to those particular situations or topics where people will not feel uncomfortable talking about them. We will talk about safe topics in a little detail from now. Be polite. Nobody likes being somebody who is not polite. You would not want to start a conversation with someone who is rude, would you? So be polite as much as you can. Be empathetic. We have already discussed how to be empathetic. Watch your tone. Your tone can really make or break your impression. Words are important, but even more important than words are the tone that you use in your conversation. So be watchful of your tone. Have a tone which is very polite and very genuine. People would really like that. Watch your body language. Be open in your body language. Be confident in your body language. That how helps to break the ice. Have a good sense of humor. Well, I'm not saying that you need to start cracking jokes left, right and center, but at the same time, people like talking to those people who really are having a good sense of humor. So be very relaxed in your body language, be very, very relaxed with your way of talking. Have a good sense of humor. Try and make people feel at ease. These are all certain areas which will help you break the ice. So I'm sure all of you have found this very helpful. So start using these tips and tricks and start breaking some ice. We are getting into a very important segment now, which is small talks. Well, if you ever have faced a situation wherein you felt awkward, wherein you had to start a small conversation if there was a silence in the middle of a conversation, well, small talks really helps you to build long and meaningful conversations with people. And nowadays, it's something that everyone has a challenge doing. So what exactly is small talks? Small talks is anything but a casual form of conversation, something which really starts at a very small instance, breaks the ice or fills an awkward silence between the people. The ability to make small talk is highly valued. A lot of people have a lot of hesitancy or awkwardness whenever they have to start a conversation, or rather fill a gap in the middle of a conversation. Small talks gets friendship started and breaks the ice before important meetings, and rather I would say all of those people who are into sales, small talks really helps you to make or close the deal. Now, when do people really make small talks? There are certain situations or certain factors when people really want to do a small talk. Let's see that. When you see someone, you're walking on a road and you see someone far away, you would want to start a conversation with that person or a small talk with that person. That's when you start doing it. You want to use small talk when you want to fill long pauses or silence, because silence makes people feel very awkward, wouldn't it? So you use a small talk to fill a particular pause or fill a particular silence. During a break, in the middle of a meeting when you are there, using small talks help because it really helps you to break the ice, and that is where it's important. So you use it whenever you get time during a break. And also, it is used by having a lot of smiles and acknowledgements. Why is it important to make a small talk? Well, it is important to make a small talk. Why? Let's understand. It helps you to break an uncomfortable silence, and we have discussed this. People find it difficult whenever there is an awkward silence. So it helps you to make it comfortable. It helps you to fill time, yes. and it helps you to be polite and to avoid boredom. These are all instances why we make a small talk. So it all understands these particular phenomena. Where do you make small talks? Well, there are certain instances or situations or areas wherein you would want to start making a small talk with someone. Where are these places? Let's see. Whenever you're waiting in a particular train station or a bus stop or any kind of area wherein there is a long queue and you need to stand there for a long time, you would want to start a small conversation with somebody who's in front of you or behind you in that long queue. It helps to really fill up the boredom, it helps you to get confident, it helps you to start having a conversation. So these are certain situations or places wherein you are wanting to have a small talk. For example, you're waiting at a doctor's clinic. Well, there is a lot of rush in a doctor's clinic. You might want to start a conversation with a lady who's sitting beside you or a small child who's there. You might want to cuddle them or start a conversation with the mother, for example. These are certain situations wherein you want to use small talks on. So friends, what are some of the areas or some of the places where you would want to start having a small talk about? Certain safe topics to talk about with regards to small talks are, you want to stick to safe topics only whenever you are starting a conversation with someone. Well, talk about the weather. If it's raining very heavily or if it's really hot weather, you might want to start a conversation asking the other person, oh, you know what, it's raining a lot today, or it's a very hot and humid weather. Or if it is very cold, you might want to have a conversation around that. This is a safe topic to talk about. You might want to talk about current events or current affairs, what's happening in the world today. For that, you need to brush up your knowledge on currently affairs that's happening. You might want to talk about sports news. You might want to talk about, ask a person what is their favorite or who is their favorite sportsman or what is their favorite sport they like playing. You might want to ask somebody who is their favorite actor or actress or what they like watching, what kind of movies they like watching. Well friends, these are all safe topics to talk about whenever you're having a small talk with somebody. Now, what are some of the not safe or uncomfortable topics to talk about? Let's see that. Some things which you want to avoid talking when you are having a conversation with somebody or small talk with somebody is, you might want to avoid talking too much on the personal information. Nobody likes sharing personal details about themselves, especially when they are with a stranger whom they don't know too well. So we should not talk about any kind of personal information which makes people uncomfortable. Also, do not talk about salaries. Well, nobody likes disclosing how much money they are making in their work or in their any area of interest. So do not talk or do not ask people to disclose their salaries. It's not a good topic to talk about. Do not talk about religious beliefs or politics. Well, people are very sentimental about their religion, and to ask somebody anything related with their religion or might want to have any conversation around religions can be a little uncomfortable for people. Likewise, talking about politics, people have a lot of sentiments along their favorite leader or their favorite politician. You might want to skip those topics and talk about something which is more safer. Well, if you have to have conversation starters or if you feel that you are somebody who lacks the effort or what is the kind of conversation you want to start talking about or how to really start a conversation with someone, let's look at these tips. Talk about the weather, which we have mentioned before. It's safe to talk about and it's something that you might want other people to talk about to them. Waiting somewhere, whenever you're waiting in a line or a queue, start a conversation with someone, because most of the time people waiting in any particular place have a lot of time on their hand. So you might want to start a conversation there. At the office, you might want to have a small talk with a new employee, for example, who has just come in. At any kind of a social event, of party or a kind of marriage, you might have gone for any kind of social event, you might want to start having a small talk there. Whenever you're out for a walk or at the gym or at swimming or any kind of sports event, you might want to have a small talk with your partner there. Well, how do we improve small talks? This is a skill which is not very difficult to really kind of gather. So what are some of the things, or how do you start having a small talk with somebody? do some research. It's very, very essential that you know about other cultures, other religions, and general have a good general knowledge which will really help you to start conversations. Stay away from any kind of political views and religious beliefs, and we have already discussed that. Use the internet to gain specific vocabulary. You might want to improve your general knowledge, you might want to improve your words or vocabulary, or just brush up on them, which will help you to have a good conversation. Ask about the other person's culture. Well, people love talking about their culture, their views on their culture, etc. So it's a good thing if you brush up on your skills with regards to other cultures around the world. Find some kind of common interest, some kind of hobby, or something which really makes people have a harmonious relationship. So it's important to find common interest and common ground, which will help you to have strike a good conversation with somebody. And the last, not the least, people like being with those people who listen to them. So please do not be selfish and only go on talking about yourself. Listen to the other person. Remember, God has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen more and talk less. Well, that gets us to the end of our topic on rapport building and small talks today. We have discussed a lot of things which will help you to build rapport, help you to have small talks, break the ice, and really get comfortable with people around you. Remember, we are doing this for our success, personally as well as professionally. Folks, I hope you have enjoyed listening to us on this segment of rapport building and small talks. Please do share your views and suggestions with us. Thank you and have a lovely day, all of you.